Exactly. The lie is in the name.
You know, I knew we were going to look at the newest con job that came out of the government recently, the Inflation Reduction Act. Now, the subject of this episode was the lie is in the name. So I looked into just what was in this act. If it had anything to do with reducing inflation, it was lost on me.
That's because it's nothing more than a condensed version of the Build Back Better bill with a little Obamacare horse dung thrown in for good measure.
What I found was that the monies are directed towards investments in combating climate change. They stab at lowering the cost of prescription drugs and raising taxes on corporations.
Exactly. The lie is in the name. While its name declares that it'll bring down soaring inflation, it somehow claims to do this by increasing inflation through more debt to the Federal Reserve.
The Penn Wharton budget model concluded that there's very little evidence that the legislation will have any impact on inflation. And the same goes for the Congressional Budget Office. They concluded that the bill will barely make a dent on inflation in the short run. In fact, it may very well bump it upward.
So much for inflation reduction. I especially like how they play games with numbers and how they conveniently decide what to leave out of the inflation calculations.
I was always a little perplexed by the removal of food, gas, oil, electricity, utilities, housing, travel, and the like from the calculations to give lower numbers. These, in fact, are the things people have to deal with every day in their budgets, yet they're not factored into core inflation numbers.
It couldn't possibly be because they don't want people to actually know how much they're being screwed, or better, confirm how much they're being screwed.